We're talking two very diverse films today, Manhattan Nights and Free State of Jones, here on iTalk Movies with Will Beinbrink next.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's iTalk Movies.
I'm still Morning Prince. I still can't believe I'm saying late Prince, the late Prince.
I know.
It's really bizarre. My childhood is just gone. My teenage years are gone. Hi, welcome to another edition of iTalk Movies here on Popcorn Talk Network. I'm your host, James Lott Jr. You can follow us on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud. We're all over the place under Popcorn Talk, under iTalk Movies. And you can follow me on everything in the universe at James Lott Jr.
And I follow him, and you should follow him.
Thank you, you do. Not senior. That's my father. So, the guy I have today, he's my buddy. I'm so happy, actually, I'm glad he's back with me. We did an interview on our sister network, AfterBuzz TV, did a spotlight on. It's about his whole career. And he's a great, funny guy, and he actually has two films coming out. One coming out May 20th and one coming out June 26th. The films are really good. One he co-produced, associate produced. So we're going to talk about all of that and really get into the meat and potatoes of both of these films. It's my buddy, Will Beinbrink.
Hey, y'all.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's nice to be back.
I told you I'd interview you anytime. Anything.
And I appreciate it because you actually are. We're interviewing now. We're doing it again.
But I have to mention, you were so funny and nice about talking about me at the ISA Awards recently.
Oh yeah. It
was kind of funny. A fan sent it to me saying he's talking about you right now. Talking to our people on there. It was kind of fun. That's Indie Series Awards. I'm said ISA like everybody knows, but Indie Series
they
Awards.
threw it on me, and I just had to, be like, I was an AfterBuzz virgin, and James was gentle with me, and I enjoyed it very much.
I think the hosts that day got a little red.
Yes, they did. They were a little gobsmacked in the face.
Made me happy.
Yeah, they were both like.
They're like, what? Huh? James? What? I think one said Gentle Giant. I was like, yeah, that's you. But anyway, you're my buddy, and I love having you on here, so this is going to be a good time. So let's talk about Manhattan Night first.
Yeah.
That's coming out May 20th in theaters and on demand. That's from Lionsgate premiere. And so you were debuted as associate producer on this film.
I know. It's pretty amazing. It was fun because I had started to think about wanting to produce projects, wanting to produce films that are, or stories, tell stories that I care about, because that's where I kind of got my, I feel like beginning was in theater, and theater is so story based, and it felt like you were part of a larger piece than just when you audition for a lot of stuff. It feels like you just come in, you do your piece, and then you're out, and you really only care about how you did, And when you start, and I was feeling a little like I was missing something, and I wanted to, and I had stories that I wanted to tell. So I started to open those doors, and fortunately, this is one of the first people that I actually connected with, and we started talking about his project. Okay. And I was able to get on board through people that I knew and through helping with like the script and stuff, and he was just open to my ideas, and now we've become fast and furious friends.
Now we're going to show a clip right now. Actually, it's a 15-second teaser trailer. Ooh. We're going to show that right now, and then we'll talk about it.
You scare me when you say that. I'm going to be with you until I die. How do you feel about that?
Terrifying. Okay. First, folks. Jennifer Beals, Campbell Scott. The stars Adrian Brody and Yvonne. I always mess up her name, but I think she's so beautiful. Yvonne Strahovski. I love her. Yeah. She's so beautiful. I've seen her in so many other things. They have some people in this film.
I know. There's some good peeps in this
and you're in there too, of course. But I mean, like, with some really big, some really nice big. And Linda Lavin. You know who Linda Lavin is? Broadway. Before that, Alice on TV, like in the 70s and 80s. I'm going to school all of you. What's going on here? I mean, there's some people in this film.
Yeah, there's some really good, and there's an Academy Award winner in this film.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I know he won for the pianist. Remember? Okay, so this project came to you because you said you met somebody who met. I mean, how did this come to you?
Well, I met him through some mutual friends, and we just started talking, and I was like, well, I started, he says he's a writer, lives in New York. I was like, I'm from New York. Oh, went to Juilliard, blah, blah. We just started chatting about our common connections. And then I somehow said, hey, well, why don't you send me your script? I'll be able to read it. And, he's like, okay, sure. So we just started with that and started building a rapport through.
Is that the novelist?
No, not the novelist. The director, writer-director Brian D. Cubelis. He got the rights of the movie Manhattan Nocturne from Colin Harrison, and then wrote the script with Colin's approval.
Oh, wow.
And Colin was fairly active in terms of giving him notes or thoughts or adjusting things in a way that it felt like a very fruitful relationship, versus sometimes it feels like you buy rights to something and then they just disappear and they're like, thank you, and they're not even a part of it. And they seem to have a really good relationship. And that's what I love about Brian. He always seems, everyone who works with him, the people who are around him, always feel like they leave in a good place.
Well, that says a lot.
Yeah, it really does. It does, about his, and how he directs.
Well, we'll get to that in a little bit. So you saw the script, and so tell us what the basis of the story is for folks who don't know.
The basis of the story is it's a thriller, a murder mystery whodunit thriller, a la old classic noir films, where instead of it being a detective, it's a beat reporter who writes for one of the, I think, the Post in New York. Don't quote me there, but he writes for one of the major papers there, has his own column, has kind of become famous as a journalist for some of the things he's done, and gets enlisted by the extraordinary beauty that is Yvonne Strahovski into being enrolled in her story. Her husband's been killed. And so he starts using his skills and wherewithal to start going down that road of finding out who did it. And then their web becomes more and more entangled.
Ooh, okay.
And there are some actually really amazing scenes between those two that are deeply personal and intimate that I just don't think you see that much anymore in films, where they really take their time. They're in bed and they're taking, and it's a scene. And
you see them talking.
Right, you see them talking about things that people usually don't talk about.
Right. Adrian Brody is a really good actor.
Yeah.
I mean, he's super good. I mean, I was watching the other day, it was just on TV, The Village. And his role in that, playing just kind of dim-witted, it was just like his performance was so good. Even in that, he was just a supporting player in that film. He was so good.
I loved him in the Budapest Hotel too.
Oh, that too, yeah, another one too, yeah. I mean, he's such a good actor. So you saw the script, you're like, okay, yes, I'm in.
Well, I was just like, I basically said, how can I help?
Yeah.
I wasn't an actor. I wasn't, I was just like wanting to develop and produce stories. So I asked, how can I help? What do you need? What can I do?
Okay.
So I came on that way with hopes, but no expectation of what would happen.
Interesting. Okay.
Because I put my mindset towards that and started saying, well, I got to do whatever I need to do in order for those things to manifest themselves.
So you kind of became a producer kind of by doing that, by saying, what can I do to help?
Yeah, and knowing that, I had a lot of study as an actor. I know a lot about scripts from plays and from all the auditions and scripts I've had to read for and all that.
Yes.
So, and from all the movies I've watched. So I felt like, and from all the people I know a good amount of people just because of being in the business and being in theater and all this stuff. So I felt like I had things to offer. It wasn't like I was just some dude off the street who
did
didn't
a couple
have
films, like I know something. Right.
Exactly. So I slightly come to the table with, even though I'd never produced before, I felt like I came to the table with a good amount of resources.
Yeah, makes sense. That's why it makes sense. So, they say sometimes actors can make good producers, directors. It really just depends.
Yeah, I think it's true, because ultimately it's always story. I believe it's always story first. If you don't have a good story, it's going to be hard to Quentin Tarantino yourself out of it. You can do amazing cuts, you can do things no one's seen before, but if your story isn't good, you're kind of dead in the water.
So as we know, films go through a pre-production process and things like that. How long, because sometimes we hear stories where it's like 10, 20 years. How long was it from when you were like, okay, the script, to actual beginning of production? Do you remember how long it was? Wasn't that long?
Not that, maybe from when maybe 4 years.
Okay.
So it was pretty quick.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Considering, it was pretty quick. He was, we had multiple offers from different producers, and then he found a producer that seemed to be a great fit, and the others were asking for things that just Brian wasn't willing to agree with. Yeah. And I think it's really smart that he didn't. Sometimes people jump on taking the first deal and making the movie, and then in hindsight, you realize you've married yourself to somebody who you didn't want to be married to, and you're.
I had somebody tell me once when I was looking for a house, don't go for the first one. You know, I mean, even if you really like it, at least look at all the 25 others you're going to see that day. And ironically, I bought my house. It was the first one I saw.
Hey, well, I mean,
That was it.
yeah, it happens too, you know, but
Right. But you gotta be careful. But I know what they were saying. They're like, you see it, you're like, oh, you think it's everything you want.
right.
And then you subconsciously rule out other things or don't look. It's like, no, take a look around, see what's
Yeah,
going on.
or you don't even realize that there are other things that you wouldn't have even thought of, and you're like, oh my, yeah, I never thought of a bay window in my kitchen,
Yeah,
or you know, like whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
Or a back door or something, anything, like just like anything.
for sure. Or
Right.
an amazing pool, or who knows.
God, I wish I want a pool. I want those. I wouldn't want to take care of it. I would hire somebody. I wouldn't want to take care of myself.
I get it. I
Yes,
get it.
So, what was one of the most unexpected things that you found about producing or associate producing? You're like, oh.
I think for me so far as a beginner in the world of it, it's just a lot of hats. You have, you know, a really good producer will know all about camera.
Okay.
Will know all about lighting. Will know all about budgets. Will know all about story. Will know how to break down a story. Know how to ideally even restructure a story. If I'm talking like a real producer who runs the whole gamut, and also has relationships with you know, big actors who can bring big actors to the table, and relationships with money. So it's like there's so many. What's happened is it feels like there's so many producers now because Alex has a friend who has $10 million, so Alex brings in $1 million, so now he's a producer. Then this guy gets a deal on cameras and locations, then he's a producer. So you know, there's a lot of hats now in the game. So I think an uber producer is someone who has an ability to line up all those things. And I think also a really powerful producer is someone who has an ability to, one, be nice to people in a way where, because of your niceness, it's not, maybe even not niceness, but a genuineness.
Yeah.
People, people are willing to do things that they don't normally do for other people. Like if you come on as some arrogant, douchey producer and you're trying to get this location that's one of a kind, and you rub someone the wrong way, it's done. No matter, I mean, maybe then you have to offer them 5 times the amount of money. But if you're able to come at it from a much more personal place, you might get the location for free. You know, so then you're saving a lot of money.
I always say people should be nice, and that should be the norm. Just why not?
Yeah, so that was actually, now I'm remembering, that was also another thing I was doing, is I had some people who had some nice places in New York.
Ooh, okay.
So I was looking at getting us locations for nothing.
Yes.
And I had a couple, and they didn't ultimately pan out, but they were close. But you know, stuff like that was also so it's and each movie as a producer is different. So you're suddenly looking for alpacas in one movie, and then the next movie you're looking for 1940s Packards. You know?
Oh yeah, no, I get it. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, it's true. I think it's like a good manager. A good manager, your staff. Some people like to rule with fear, and I always hate that. I always hated that thing. It's like, so people do stuff for you. You don't know how well they're doing it or why. But when you're actually a good manager, you could be a nice person, a good manager, good producer, good director, and people you said will go out of their way to make sure that you finish under time, under budget, or if that lighting's going down, everybody knows their lines extra hard, maybe because they feel like it's like now I feel like a part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there will be the occasion where if you're that type of guy, you will get burned. But then when you close the door on them, then they're going to be screaming to come back in. Versus the other way, where if you're too hard from the beginning, then they're like, screw you.
Because isn't that true in Hollywood, especially? People like to work, and even our thing when people hosting interviews, working in PR and stuff, people like being with people that they enjoy working with, don't they?
Yeah, of course. Because it's hard. You're in, especially say an independent film where say you're doing 20 or 30 days and you're there 12, 14 hours every day, and and you're lack of sleep, you're not eating the best food, say you're in say extreme weather conditions. You know, you want people who are going to be easy, who are going to do their job and be nice, because it's a boiling pot for things not to go well.
Can you imagine after 16 hours on a set? And it was 110 degrees all day, and someone gets on your nerves.
Yeah.
That, not pretty.
No, I remember. I don't remember what movie. I think it was on I Saw the Light. Someone mentioned that their father, who was in the military, had always kind of looked down on his son for being, I think, for being a producer or something. And when his father came and saw the amount of work that it was and how much was coordinated between all the actors and all the crew and everything, and how much they worked together, he was he was extremely impressed and kind of even was saying how it was more difficult than being in the military. You know,
I believe it. I used to be an event planner. Talk about, well, I don't see enough donuts here. Where's the coffee? It's supposed to be 5, and is it 5% overage for food? Or is it 2? Like, I mean, seriously, I had to deal with budgeting and time and the guests, and literally it was like there was many times I did an event and they were like, we ran out of Danish.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I can't get smart with them. It's like, well, that's my fault. They need to make sure there's enough for everybody,
right?
If they want it.
And that's a producer right there. An event planner, in a way, is a producer. It's very similar, I think. Mm-hmm. It's just your skill set might be, in terms of what you need to know, is different. You know, but it's got a lot of similarities.
Management.
Yeah.
So you like producing though?
I do. When it's got to be about the story. Okay. If I'm not into the story, I don't think it's going to be something that I want to do. But I gotta love the story. And
so you read the script. Have you read the book?
I read part of it. Yeah.
Part of it. You like it?
It's great. Yeah, the part I read, because I was also like, I was trying to cram to read it before I went to shoot, before I was on location. So because I was thinking I could maybe find out more about my character in the book, and I found out enough that I went to it purely just for that reason, as an actor looking for stuff about my character. But I didn't look at it for the whole thing because he had already had the script, and so I didn't feel like I needed to read that in order to help him with that. It probably would have been a good move on my part, but you know.
Now you played Billy, and who is he?
Billy is this kind of investment banker. Not kind of. He's an investment banker.
Kind of. He's like, he dabbles in money.
But he also has. I mean, this doesn't get explained in the script too much, but in the book, he's also like, he deals with like, not antiquities, but he's kind of a treasure hunter and deals with looking for treasure. Okay. And that doesn't. It's a whole little side story that the film doesn't have time to go into. But yeah, so in this reiteration or iteration of it, he's this guy Campbell Scott plays this Artur.
Another great actor, folks. Another great actor.
And I'm his buddy. Okay. I'm his friend. I'm not sure if we went to like private school together or our families knew each other, or if I'm just someone who had maybe been a producer on one of his films or something. He got involved with like some money that I had. Or,
well, here's a good point. Did you make up a backstory though for yourself to did you make up something? No?
No. As an actor, I don't know if I'm gonna probably step on this later when I look back at it. But it depends on if you have the time. I feel like really having a full, rich backstory is beneficial.
Okay.
But if you don't have the time.
Yeah.
And that's not, your priority should be on what's the scene, who you're speaking with, what you're dealing with, and simply being present in that world. Yeah. And if you do that, the majority of the backstory kind of would come in, I think, ultimately with really subtle nuances. But that gets into like, you have 6 weeks of rehearsal, or 6 months like they used to when in Russia with the Moscow Art Theater. You'd have 6 months, and these things would just get so subtle. And
I'm sure. But you don't always have that. But you brought up a good point to say that sometimes you have to kind of create maybe a little backstory for yourself sometimes to make the scene.
Yeah, or sometimes you just let it ride.
Let it ride, yeah.
Yeah, and trust who you're with, and trust that you're enough.
And obviously Campbell Scott was trustworthy.
Yeah.
Long-time actor, comes from like acting pedigree.
Not a bad father, not a bad pedigree.
Yeah, exactly. Hello, father and mother.
Yeah.
God, it's like, hello. So I mean, so with him, how was it acting with him?
He was really, he was really, really sweet. Nice, kind, very just down-to-earth person. I enjoyed the time I had with him, which was in our scene when we met, when we were getting like fitted and he was getting wigged, and then which I don't know if that was a first for him, but he had some varying wigs of lengths of hair that was really
funny. Okay.
Really fun. Like some serious like Game of Thrones wigs, and he had one that looked like Christopher Lee from The Hobbit.
Yeah, the Hobbit series.
It wasn't the one they ended up using, but it was still pretty. I still have that image in my head
of
him
God.
Sitting in the corner with the window here and the hair coming down. So
Edgar Winter, what's going on? For folks who don't know who that is, it was somebody in the 70s.
But yeah, he's awesome, and I think he's doing a play. I don't know if he's still doing it. He was doing Noises Off on Broadway.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know if he still is.
Well, check it out, folks, if he is. I mean,
Yeah.
It's a great play, actually.
Oh, and I hear it's a wonderful production.
Oh, my God.
So when I'm going to go for the premiere.
Okay.
And then I hope to see some plays. So I'll hope to see that one.
Yeah, I see that one. If you don't go to Broadway in New York and see something, every time I go to New York, I try to see something on Broadway, always.
Yeah, and
I want to see Hamilton, of course, but that's...
Yeah, I know. It's so hard to get tickets.
Yeah.
There's also Long Day's Journey into Night, the Eugene O'Neill play.
Oh, wow.
With Michael Shannon.
Another great actor.
And Jessica Lange's in that one.
Oh, my girl. I love me some Jessica. Oh, that's good.
And someone else. I can't remember the father. Oh, Gabriel Byrne.
Another great actor.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You have a good time. So... What were you? Did you have any different look? Because you're a character actor. Do you have any different look in this film too? What was your look in it?
I look pretty suited up.
Yeah.
Short hair.
Really?
Some scruff. Pretty much look like I could be walking down Wall Street or.
Funny.
Yeah, pretty less character than the other things I've done.
Yeah, because you're a guy who doing hair or kind of looks and scruff and colors. So I was curious what you look like. So you're very much buttoned down.
Yeah.
Wall Street type.
Suit, tie, short hair. Yeah, pretty straight, all American. Not all American, but pretty straight business.
Business. Yeah.
Business. I'm business.
You're all business.
All business.
I love it. That's amazing. So that was good. Okay, so now so you're in this film. So how was Jennifer Beals? How was Adrian Brody? How was Linda? I mentioned all these names.
I haven't met them yet. I look forward to meeting them.
So funny.
No, I haven't met them yet.
Oh,
I met Yvonne at the Elton John Oscar party.
Oh my God!
Talked to her.
You went there?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
That was pretty cool.
I know. I'm sure he's legendary, but he does it every year. I'm like, wow.
It was pretty cool because I got to see
everybody.
Well, no, I got to see him sing 5 songs, so it turned into a little intimate concert that I wasn't expecting. I didn't realize what I was going to.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was just a party. I didn't know that he was going to actually be performing and stuff. Retarded me. But so I was like, I saw why am I blanking? The Rocket song, Rocket.
Oh yeah, Rocket Man.
Rocket Man. I saw him do 4 or 5 other songs that I blanking now.
Yeah, but it's 3 songs.
It was so
live.
cool. Just him, playing his piano. He had a couple other people there. He'd go
so
solo.
good.
He'd do a cappella. It was awesome.
What a legend.
Yeah. I mean, I feel grateful to see him. It's like him, Prince. Yeah. The other one is Rolling Stones.
I've seen them twice.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Oh, they are.
They're amazing in concert.
I never saw David Bowie. I'm so pissed.
I know, me too.
I almost went to his Glass Tiger tour back in the 80s or whatever, and I didn't. There's a couple people I was supposed to go see their concerts, and somehow something happened. I didn't go.
Yeah,
I can't explain it now. Half the 80s I don't remember anyway, for good reasons, for other reasons. Good
reasons.
It was the 80s. I mean, I did go out a lot. Yeah. But no, I wish I saw him.
I know.
God,
that's probably one of the ones I would. I mean, I guess U2 would be one I'd want to see too, but I really would have loved to have seen Bowie.
Yeah, I know, me too. Crazy.
Yeah.
And so tell us about Brian as a director. What did you really like about him as a director? You mentioned some stuff a little earlier, but what did you really like about him?
Well, one thing I love about him is he's just easy. So he's easy. He's calm. He's confident. Not in a way where you think of a director like, I'm confident. He's just here. He's like, hey, what's going on? How are you doing? And we just work through stuff. And it's never like he's stressed or he's never, going, okay, we got to get the shot. You don't feel a sense of
Wow, interesting.
And so I think that leads itself to one feeling like you can play within the context of what you're doing, but also feeling safe in a way where oftentimes I think actors, I have to trick myself into not trying to get a scene right or get it right because I know I'm only going to get a couple takes, and then I'm feeling like I'm playing a pre-planned route that I've already done before, and I feel like he would often give, at least what I saw with me and Campbell, was he would give us space to let it be. And I think that's really important. And often I think first-time directors, because this was technically his first feature that he had directed, usually they're really kind of controlling. But I think I think what was smart about him is he trusted in the people he got. He got good actors who
Yes,
had
he did.
a lot of experience,
Yeah.
and he let them work. You know, and then maybe he'd give a little bit
Nudge
like
here,
here,
nudge.
like try this, but he let us work.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really smart thing. I don't remember who said it, but somebody said a really good director, Woody Allen, I think, the best thing a director can do is hire good people, and then he doesn't really have to do much after that.
But it's just like any kind of field, kind of, isn't it? It
Yeah.
kind of translates to anything. Hire good folks who can deliver your jobs easier.
Right.
It just makes so much sense.
Yeah, and then I think some directors don't want it to be easy.
Right.
That, that's the whole other
Right.
That's a whole other mindset. But yeah, so that, and I think he's just a really, how do I say this? He's a really good human being in terms of he's a highly functional human being.
Got it.
So when you work with highly functional human
Makes a
beings,
difference.
it just makes it
Yeah.
a difference.
Yeah. The role really does.
Yeah.
Right. So this movie comes out May 20th. Now, why are there some titles say Manhattan Night, some say Manhattan Nocturne, some say whatever? Can you please explain that to us, please?
Oh God.
yeah. I mean, the official name is in America, I guess.
In the United States, I don't know if it's Canada too, but
North America, maybe.
it's Manhattan Night.
Got it.
And the reason it is called Manhattan Night is because it is an easier title for people to relate to, at least that's what we're under the impression of, than Manhattan Nocturne.
There you have it.
So,
Kids, there you have it. So you see different names. So if you're like because this is worldwide. This goes all
Yeah,
around. So
I know.
if you're in France and we're talking about, and you see Manhattan Nocturne, it's the same film.
right. And if you are watching it and halfway through realize it's the same film, I'm happy you watched it twice with a different title, but I don't have anywhere to go with this joke. This joke is
Yeah, I know
falling
you're
out.
going somewhere.
I was going somewhere.
I was almost
but-
there with you, just like they could be kind of, but
Yeah, let's just cut it, and you came in to laugh. Thank you.
Yeah, good. That's all good. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Have a nice day. So that's May 20th in theaters and on demand. Some big great. And then you have another film coming out June 24th called Free State of Jones. We're going to show a little part of the trailer on that. It looks really good with starring Matthew McConaughey. So let's go. Let's take a look at that.
Keep it fast and stay close to me.
Crazy.
I know.
Just standing there walking, just like wide open, just waiting to get shot.
I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine.
Like how retarded.
A lot of these war things were like that, weren't they, back then?
Me, all of it. We're all out there dying so they can stay rich.
Tax collectors coming around here, taking everything. We'll have nothing for the winter.
My buddy's in this trailer. I'll tell you who he is in a second.
Oh, cool.
It's quite an armor you got there. Last time I checked, the gun don't care who's pulling the trigger.
Okay, that's a great line. I like that line.
You know they shoot deserters, don't you?
They runaways?
Please shoot.
And won't
My
die
girl, I
so you
love
can
her.
rest any cotton.
Yeah, Gugu Matura, I love her.
No man ought to tell another man what he's got to live for or what he's got to die for.
I don't have the patience with 5 or 6 deserters hiding out in a swamp.
Listen, this is America, not somewhere else. This is our history in America.
Right.
Just hang them.
That's just like.
See anything?
He's out
Looks
there.
beautiful.
And that was just beautifully shot.
Yeah, it
You
looks
won't
gorgeous.
miss this.
The color green.
Okay, here we go.
This fight's for our children and their children's children.
From this day forward, we declare the land north of Pascagoula Swamp to be a
There you
free
have it.
state of Jones.
They're poor farmers, deserters, who, frankly, sir, don't have much
My
to
friend,
lose.
right there, Wayne Perret.
Oh, he's a good actor.
I love him. I interviewed him.
You can't fight with this stuff.
I mean, that's our history. It's like, this is not made up. This is not something. This is like, this is a time where we were actually fighting with ourselves over slaves and stuff. So that's with director Gary Ross, stars Matthew McConaughey, Gugu Mbatha, Kerry Russell, Jacob Laughlin, and my buddy Wayne Perret, who's in there. I love him. He's from Louisiana. We talk gumbo, and we want to cook gumbo together.
I've never met him. I look forward to meeting him. I heard great things.
Yeah, I did an interview with him here, so he's a great guy. And you're in it, so I mean, like, it's just this. I mean, power. I mean, what we say looks beautifully shot. I mean, Gary did a great job.
Yeah,
obviously,
I'm blown away by it. Yeah.
Wow, so
stunning.
You play a farmer, but first of all, how did this film get into your consciousness? Audition. Okay.
Sometimes they come across your table as an email from your agent, and you're like, okay, I got to audition. But I actually auditioned for a larger role. I auditioned for Lieutenant Barber.
Okay.
And then that didn't work out, and then was offered this.
Wow.
Which was really cool.
So this was like you said, this came to your desk. Did you remember doing an in-person audition, or was it a tape?
In person.
Oh, because tape is now a big thing now.
Yeah. I always prefer if I can be in person because I'd rather get direction.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm here and they go, hey, try here. So me personally, I like that.
Yeah.
Because then it's also, you get to build a rapport with the person.
I think so too.
I much prefer that. But yeah, it was in person, and then I did another role in person, and then they offered me something else, which I didn't do. But they were like, well, based on this, we'll give you this, which was really pretty generous.
Where did it film?
It filmed in all over Louisiana. They were
Louisiana.
all over.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it takes place in Jones County, which is Mississippi.
Which is right next to Louisiana.
So they're pretty similar.
Similar terrain and everything.
And I think Jones County is like central east Mississippi, if I remember right. So, they were, but again, they were going, as you can tell, those locations are just stunning, from those swamps to
I know.
So they went all over Louisiana on a film spree, shooting wherever they felt like they wanted or needed to make this film which.
And many parts of people, if you go to the south, many parts of the country outside of the big cities, there's lots of land still untouched.
Yeah, there
we forget that,
especially in cities like Louisiana, or even here. If you go, but you got to go out to Palm Sprinkles, and then you get out of there.
Sprinkles, I like that. But no, seriously, I went or Northern California. You go way north, like Shasta, Redding. You're like, oh yeah, there's like, or Mendocino. You're like, oh, there's there's like mountains and trees and forests. You also like, I'm not in California, right? And you still are.
Yeah.
So, but down there it's great. So period pieces. And so how do you look in? You're a farmer, so how do you look in this one?
I have a little like hat. But we did things with hat and without hat when I was
okay.
So I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, okay, you see it. Okay.
But I'm in like sharecroppers or farmer's pants, button-up shirt, but without really a collar, and then a vest. All kind of thick, as if it was woven by someone on the farm. Cool clothes, and then dirtied up.
Yeah.
Because they're always dirty.
And how was the weather?
It was hot.
I would say it was hot.
It was hot.
So tell us a little about that. How do they get you guys to stay cool? I mean, what do they do so you don't pass out?
They don't.
Oh my god.
You stay hot.
You're just like, I'm gonna film. I'm gonna pull it together, be a professional, and sweat my balls off.
Yep, your balls are sweating off.
Oh my god.
Yeah, your balls get smaller.
They invert.
Yes,
they go away. They will see you later.
They're like, we're gonna hide. It's too hot out here.
We'll come back when the film's over.
Yeah. But no, because especially some of those locations are so rural, and so off the beaten track that, they had to like set the trailers here, and then they'd go shoot over here, and so there was a distance.
Oh my god!
Kind of like Revenant in a way, where they would they had to do some hikes into some distant locations. So it was, and then you're dealing with that heat and then hiking there. So it was pretty grueling for pretty much all the actors that I know. It was grueling.
Well, here's my question: is so how do you like maintain character? I mean, seriously, how do you maintain character if you have a line or 2 or 10? How do you do that under those conditions? You just pull it together. You're just like, I'm a trained actor, so I'm supposed to do. I know it's 10,000 degrees, but what do you do?
I think you try it both ways. You try it one where you like honor where you're at.
Okay.
So you might come off a little bit like maybe like you're irritated, you're frustrated, and then the other thing is I think you completely ignore it.
Wow.
You know,
Mind over matter, I guess.
because you've been living there for years, so it's what you're used to it. It's just like if you lived in, you know, equatorial Central America, and you're just like used to that heat. You've never had AC all your life. You're just
That's true.
you know. So I think you play with either. You play with it affecting you and with it not. And
That's true.
you know, who's to say? Because there's definitely probably people back then who still had been living there who hated the heat.
I'm sure.
Who were miserable, who just weren't adapted well to it. And then there were others who were.
I lived in San Francisco for 16 years, and I never acclimated to the weather. I just never did. I mean, you have to dress in layers up there. I didn't realize the summers didn't come to like 2 weeks in September. You know what I mean? Like it's just. I mean, I think it's June, July. I'm like, oh, summer's coming. No, it's not. It's still foggy.
Right.
It was like fireworks. What if I can't see fireworks? Where are they? My poor kids. I'm like, we're going to see fireworks. I'm like, well, not really. It was just like crazy. But my body, it did a little tiny bit, but not. I hated it the whole time. I hated the weather part.
Yeah. So, you know, some people do, some people don't.
So weird.
Mean, I personally grew up kind of in Southern California, and that's what I prefer.
Yeah.
I don't love New York winters. Not my favorite thing.
Oh, I know. I've been so. Oh no.
You know.
They have to de-ice the steps to go outside. I'm like, and dig your car out.
Yeah, and I don't want to be in Belize trying to sleep at midnight when it's like 100-degree humidity and 105.
That's the problem. If the heat would go, I'm getting all upset now. Oh my God! No, if the heat would go down at night, I'd be okay.
But it doesn't.
It doesn't in certain places. It just doesn't. I go to Florida and stuff, and the humidity, like if it went down to like 70s, I could do that.
Right.
But when it's still 95 degrees at, like you said, at midnight.
Yeah.
Like, it's nighttime. I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, my ass can't sleep.
Oh, me neither.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I eat less. I actually lose weight usually when I'm in hot places like that.
Totally.
You don't want to eat.
Yeah, you don't.
It's crazy. So have you ever done any period piece films before?
Now I gotta rack through the.
Go through the Rolodex. I said Rolodex. Wow, I'm just aging myself.
No, I was thinking Rolodex.
Oh, we go good. Okay, good. Oh my God, I was like, I just aged myself.
No, I was thinking Rolodex.
It's called an album, not vinyl. I still tape things on a DVR.
Oh man. Yes.
Actually, if you don't remember, I have a question about that.
I gotta. Yeah, it's got.
That's fine. My question about that is
right
doing period pieces, especially something like this, where it has to do with slavery and stuff. How do you feel about doing stuff like that? Period pieces like that.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I guess I Saw the Light was a period piece
too. Yeah,
that was in the
too.
40s. You know, plays I've done have often been period, ranging from Shakespeare to like, what am I thinking of his name? Moliere.
Okay.
You know, to Restoration comedy. You know, so and there you really kind of. There even more so, I feel like you need to really know the style of that because you're always being seen your entire body. Versus when you're filming, you can cheat a decent amount of it.
Yeah.
Depending on the role and depending on the significance of what you're doing. You know, you don't walk in those heels if you don't have, you know, if you have a couple scenes and you're
right.
So, but you know, I think. I love doing that stuff. That's partly why I got into acting was the sense of a time travel that you feel like one day you're the Duke of Milan and it's 1500s and the next you're in the 1800s and you're a sharecrop farmer fighting for your livelihood. You know, and that's partly what I loved and fell in love with acting. And I for the life of me, I can't think of other films. I feel bad.
No, it's right. I mean, my larger question was that these kind of films, you like doing them. You feel there's responsibility behind them, which you just mentioned one of the things of kind of having to be on in that time period while you're in that movie.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe I'm slightly, I don't know, elitist, but I feel like doing those things, I feel like I'm bringing something to the table that's bigger than just entertaining somebody. I feel like I'm either, you know, like with Hank Williams, we're talking about a huge musical force and part of our history. And the same with this movie, Free State of Jones. You know, it's a piece of history that people don't really know about. And so much of our history that we were taught as kids is, in some ways, is very skewed history.
Yes.
So, you know, hearing things like this, it helped. I want more stories out like this, really. So it's exciting. So yeah, I love all of it, but especially if I can feel like there's something that's giving illumination to people. I'm grateful for that.
Did you learn some stuff from this film when you did it?
I didn't know about it.
Okay.
I had no clue.
Okay.
So I learned about the whole thing.
Yeah.
I walked in like an ignorant person. I didn't know anything. So, some people won't know when they walk into it about the whole history, and that's where I was.
Isn't that a great thing?
Yeah.
You're an actor and you're getting education at the same time.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Yeah.
I was blown away. I was like, holy, I didn't know this was going on back then.
Right. Yeah. Crazy. You're right, art history, especially from, I guess, our time period, it was very skewed back then. I mean, they're probably doing a little better now, maybe, because of the advent of films and on social media, this history's starting to get out more.
Sure. And I think people are being less afraid of telling things.
That's a good.
And I think fortunately social media is actually, I used to hate social media, like hate it. Like I was like, I am never getting on Instagram. I am,
And you're on IG now. I know we follow each other. You're on there.
But especially with both of them. I follow these people or I follow these causes. And it connects me to the whole, everyone knows this, but it connects you to the whole world. So I'm hearing about things that are going on in Indonesia with rainforests that are being burnt that shouldn't be or I'm hearing about, companies that like Nestle that owns Arrowhead that isn't paying for the water and they're selling tons of free water called Arrowhead to us and we're paying, but they don't pay us or the state of California for the water and they're basically taking water out of our mountains when we're supposedly in a drought and we're supposed to take shorter showers. So, it's just like, I really am grateful for the advent of it now. And with political movements, what's really cool is it takes the media and starts pushing the media and all their bias and makes it not so in our faces in a way. We get another viewpoint. We're not getting blocked. We're not getting media.
It's not known as gospel now.
Yeah, it's not the media here, and you can't see all the other stories that are actually other views or actually what's really going on. So it's like all the stuff with politics right now. I mean, it's exciting in a way too. Yeah. Because I feel like these millennials are pushing for things that my generation didn't push for as clearly. I was kind of I feel like our generation was the forefront of environmentalism, and the generation before was even more, but they were really small. Yeah. And then my generation started with the NRDC and all these things, but before that, it was like maybe Sierra Club, and they thought it was weird hiker people. You know what I mean? And now like every millennial is like, I want clean water. Yeah. I want to have national parks that are taken care of. I want clean air. And I don't want I don't want more oil. It doesn't make sense. So we're smart enough. We can figure out another way to do it. Yeah. And they're like throwing down gauntlets. And it's great.
I love it too. It's for them. Let them do it. I'm like, I'm a parent to several millennials. So I'm like, you guys fight the cause. You'll be long here longer than I am. So do it.
Yeah. No,
really, it's your world.
No, it is.
It's ours too, but they should do it.
It always feels like it's the youngsters' world, not in a bad way, but like when I was in high school, people who were homosexual were kind of like looked at strangely, and now you go to high school or even like junior high, and they're out. Like they're like, hey,
exactly, yeah, they're
guys,
like out.
girls, kids are like, I'm gonna be a woman soon. They're clear.
They are. And I could do it when I was in high school.
All their kids are, for the most part, are cool with it.
I know.
It's like we're the ones who are behind, and then the other generations
way behind. Yeah,
they're like in a whole.
And they're hold on though. They're hold on.
They're like the Pleistocene.
I love it. They're on. So briefly before we go, you are doing another movie it's coming out called Carter in June. So tell us a little about that one.
That is a fun romp. That is not an historical film. That is a current today film with strippers, with guns, with sex, with Jesus, with all your favorite things. Rolled into one big fat joint that you can smoke and enjoy the film, because it's one of those films.
Okay, I love it.
Not that you need to be stoned, but that you need to. It's a fun romp.
Okay, I like that.
And it takes place in the Dirty South.
Okay.
NOLA, and it's referenced as the Dirty South, and it's a big romp.
Oh, good.
It's like a car chases and bank robberies and
That's so funny.
and it's just all it's all
Who's in it?
Some great actors, some really, really great actors. A guy named Michael Raymond James. He's on a show right now called Game of Silence. I think it's on ABC.
Oh, yeah.
He was in Terriers. He was on Once Upon a Time.
Oh, wow.
And he was
all that stuff.
the son, I think, of Robert Carlyle in that. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
But he's great. And the lead opposite him was this woman, Samari Armstrong.
That sounds familiar. It sounds familiar.
Yeah, she's done a lot of work. She's done. There's a show that it wasn't Revolution, but it was also on. It was
on ABC.
Yes, and she was a regular on that show.
Okay. That's probably where I remember her from. I can't remember the name of it.
I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah. That's fine.
And then this guy named James Landry Ebert.
Oh.
He's really good actor. He's on Westworld right now, that new HBO TV show. And then this girl who I did the majority of my two-person scenes were with her and James, and her name's Lindsay Musil, and she's on Unreal TV.
Oh yeah, that's a show. Yes.
Yeah, on Lifetime. I think?
Lifetime.
Yeah, she's doing that right now in Vancouver, and so we had a great time. We had a lot of scenes together, me, Lindsay, and James, because they were a couple.
Okay.
And I was sleeping with her behind their back and trying to and convincing her to give me money to start my own church. And she had to convince him, and then she brought me in to convince him too. So it was a messy little triangle of fun.
How fun is that? You have to do three different. You have three films coming out just immediately that are totally different things.
Yeah.
How amazing is that?
I'm grateful, really, really grateful.
Well, thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Always. Anytime. So Manhattan Night or Manhattan Nectarine?
Manhattan Nectarine.
Nocturne. It's opening May 20th in theaters and on demand from Lionsgate. And of course, Free Save Jones is June 26th. It's coming out. It'll be next month.
Yeah.
So it'll be good for you. So this summer, it's the summer of you.
Well, I think there's a few more people who are going to have bigger summers, but I appreciate it.
It's about you right now. It's about you right now.
It's all about you, Will.
It's all about you, Will. So tell folks in that camera over there where they can find you on social media. So you talk about social media.
Sure. You can find me on social media at Will Beinbrink, WILLBEINBRINK. You can also find me at Twitter, and you can also find me on Facebook too.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, that's But I think Instagram I really like because I feel like that's the one I've really attached to the most in terms of like posting stuff and kind of sharing what's up in my world.
Yeah.
If you guys are interested.
Of course you're interested. Come on.
All right.
Follow him. Do it now.
Do it now.
Right after the show's over. Then do it now. And you can follow us on Popcorn Talk on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud. Rate us. Talk about us. Find this interview.
I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to find Popcorn Talk.
He's thinking right now.
My phone right now.
It is on your phone. And iTunes, you can listen to our wonderful voices. It can be right there on your computer, phone, tablet. It's all there. You can follow me at James Lott Jr. on everything in the world. And I will see you next time here on iTalk Movies Popcorn Talk.
Popcorn Talk.
Bam. From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.